wait. Why would you buy a Switch? You're not allowed to buy Oh, hey everyone, sorry, we're talking about different kind of things? Okay, fair point. But we don't have Coral or Karis or Furball here. So we're kind of limited on the options. But, so, no, people out there watching, your eyes are not deceiving you. There is a small panel to begin with because I wanted to make sure that people were informed about the subject matter initially because of the potential volatile nature of it. Oh, fuck you, Canada. Really? Oh, well, let me double check this because OBS is being a fucking whore. Okay, let's try that now.
Yay! Controversy.
Can you hear me now?
And yes, I have Verizon. Although, is he with T-Mobile now? Or is it Sprint?
He was with Sprint. Now it's T-Mobile and Sprint together in one, so yes?
I don't think that was a question.
No. You don't get spaghetti.
Oh,
Cat wants spaghetti.
So you have Garfield.
No, he's not orange. But he is a tabby.
And he does have a thing for Italian food, apparently, so there we go. But, so, let's go through the main gripes before we bring on the rest of the intrepid band of chuckle fucks that are in the background waiting. Let's start with Independence Hall.
Where would you like me to start?
Let's lay down the groundwork first of what happened. Like, what actually legit happened. And then we'll go into the characterizations from the people.
The Twitterati, you mean?
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
So wait, Jared, you're saying Biden did a thing, and a very historical thing, had a little bit of joining up with the meme that has been going on, and the other side is really upset and scared and pissed.
No, not just one side.
No, I completely watched that whole thing. I did that for a reason.
No. You should have seen Twitter Friday and Saturday about all this.
I did.
Okay. Biden did his speech. It is a speech that I'm both okay with, but there are parts that I'm pissed off with. Okay.
Oh yeah.
I went into it, and I will say this with the utmost honesty. I went in wanting to hate it because I just don't really care for Biden. Don't care for Trump either, but I don't care for Biden. So since he's president, he gets my ire right now. With that said, though, the overall tone and message of the speech of trying to bring unity, I won't say peace, but unity to the nation, at least coming together to work together to improve things, is a very great and stand-up message. Not a good message when you have an entire background behind you that is red that nobody bothers to pan out to show you the rest of it.
Yeah, and I think that's just a tip of the iceberg of what really got my ire up with a lot of the people's reaction, because you had your typical falling along party lines. One side saying, "Oh, look at this, it's tyrannical. Reminds you of anything?" Which...
You mean projection exists?
They're not wrong. No. They're not wrong in looking at it that way. Because outside of a couple of establishing shots at the very beginning and the very end, Biden's speech was framed on the fucking telecast how they are saying it looked.
Exactly. And you cannot fault these people for thinking that this is the image that the president was trying to project. That this is the image that the White House was trying to project. That he is for lack of a better term here, trying to be a dictator. I actually just watched Freedom Tunes Dark Brandon video. Rather funny. Rather funny actually, but
well,
when
the Dark Brandon meme has been going on for a minute. It has always been funny.
But it's just the whole the lighting and the everything. If the camera crews,
the lighting and the tone, I agree.
And the tone of the message, yes. Because I mean, I'm looking at. I have a copy of the speech transcript right here. Now, quote, now I want to be very clear up front. Not every Republican, not even the majority of Republicans are MAGA Republicans. Not every Republican embraces their extreme ideology. I know because I've been able to work with these mainstream Republicans, end quote. That right there, with that background, what does that speak to you if you knew nothing about the politics of the United States?
It very much frames they're the problem, not us. They're causing all the hell. They're the ones, and it's this group of it, but they're the problem. There's accountability that's lacking from looking at and acknowledging that there are extremists that are at the core of the major divisive issues right now amongst both parties.
And I agree. And if you actually read the speech as you're watching it, you'll pick up on where he talks about extreme MAGA and extremists, where no MAGA is mentioned before or after. And you know what that not the just extremist is really entailed and what he means by that. He's talking about the groups on the left, like Antifa. We don't need people tearing us apart. We need to come together. But the problem is we've allowed the people to be torn apart. And that's just one of the many things wrong.
Yeah, it is very clear to point out on one side of everything, it's just this group. And you have the power, which there were parts in the middle of the speech that I completely agreed with. Yes, we, the voting public, are the ones with the authority and power to keep all those assholes in check. And guess what? You fuckers haven't been doing your job in keeping them in check.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just rereading this is just like, ugh. My brain is rotting.
There is a part that actually got a chuckle out of me, like an actual audible laugh. Both times that I heard the speech, not so much when I read it, but when I was listening to it, I laughed at this one. And here, in my view, is what is true. MAGA Republicans do not respect the Constitution. They do not believe in the rule of law. Really, fuckstick? Do you really want to say that they're the ones that don't respect the Constitution or the rule of law, and no one else has a problem with that?
Bullshit for 200, Alex.
Because I will agree that extreme view that has infiltrated the Republican Party is a problem, and yes, they have a major problem with reading comprehension, especially when it comes to legal documents. But they're not the only ones that are the problem with that. For how many years has your own party, Joe, how many years have you yourself been railing against segments of the Constitution that you don't like?
We can even go back to when he was a senator and talk about things that he said to people of color. If we really wanted to dig a, Democrats' skeletons, if we really wanted to.
And I think that's really the thing that irked me the most about it is, yes, I understand you are calling out a legitimate issue. But if you're going to call out a legitimate issue, call out the entirety of the issue, not just the most recent symptom of it.
Yes, and that's the problem. Is it's not one side or the other's fault that we're where we are. It's both of their faults. And most people are only getting their news from one source or the other.
Yep.
They're either getting it from the left media or the right media.
Can confirm on that one because the place I'm living right now, every morning it's fucking Fox News on there. No other news network, only Fox News.
Speaking of Fox News, though, I do find it comical how they're finally starting to shift to the closer to the moderate label that they tried to give themselves early on, that at their outset they were actually closer to being.
Well,
Granted, it took Trump being caught and bent over and about to be rammed by Bubba, but at least they're starting to be like, oh shit, okay, this isn't going to go well for us. Time to pull our heads out of our ass.
Well, speaking of corporate news, what about CNN and Brian Stelter?
I haven't heard anything on that.
So I've heard that Stelzer is gone.
Yes, he's been fired.
And that there's a call to boycott CNN. Beyond that, I'll admit, I haven't cared enough to look into it because, well, I've been against mainstream news media for almost 20 years now.
Well, the thing is from what I heard, and I haven't bothered to look into this either, is that basically some guy who used to help run Fox News bought CNN and is trying to bring it back towards the center. So you have both Fox News trying to come center and CNN coming center again. That is a scary thought. It's like two black holes coming together. What's going to happen when they meet in the middle?
Is the dimensional rift actually trying to close and correct itself?
Where's Rick and Morty?
God damn you, Rick Sanchez!
But look, we kind of covered the speech itself as well as we can without going over it entirety and showing it to people. But the biggest thing that I saw on the on Twitter that was getting a lot of people on the left in a huff is literally the shot of Biden with his fists up in front of that red background. And alls I heard and from people, and one of the biggest people rallying against it was Ansgard. Ansgard Odinson, yeah, that's
yep.
And
yeah, I'll say this: if you are of the progressive left-leaning side of things, and Ansgar is pointing out something that you fucked up with, why aren't more people seeing it that way? And this isn't to say that Ansgar is typically very biased, but he has been reluctant on that side of it, what I have seen.
Yeah, he tries not to talk politics. He tries to keep his personal politics out of things because that's not what he wants to be known for. He wants to be known for his art and what he does. And I can respect that. But this is what got me into actually looking into all of this. So, can MAGA stop cosplaying as Holocaust victims for like 5 minutes? And there's a part where he goes into, was it this one or was it a different one? Might have been a different one. He went into basically talking about the crop job. Yeah, here it is.
Yeah, that's actually the first tweet I saw about Biden's speech.
And because I believe he goes on to somebody else to say, "Oh, I know there was one where he actually replied to somebody and basically showed the uncropped version of this, which clearly shows red, white, and blue."
Well, yeah, but that was a photo of it. That was not a screenshot from the actual televised event, which is
Right.
what I watched minutes before going live. I finished it just to make sure it was fresh in my mind and as accurate as possible. And that was actually something that I pointed out to someone in a Twitter thread either earlier today or yesterday, that while people from the right that are overly hyping up the visual tone of the speech have cropped it, have done other things to it to narrow the focus, so did the televised event itself.
Yeah, that's
I mean, for people trying to say, oh, if you just took what was actually shown, you would have seen the white and blue on the sides. And it's like, no.
not unless you Google search all the images that were taken of it, and there's still, it's like most of them are like pre-televised where the lighting isn't as bright, or in this case as dark as the red was.
Yeah, that red was awful, awful dark.
Yeah, and I even said, whoever the hell in the press department for the White House agreed with or even suggested that that would be a good idea, either they're an amazing troll or they are fucking stupid.
Never attribute to malice what you can attribute to incompetence. Isn't that what it is?
Yeah, don't attribute to malice what can be more readily explained by ignorance. Which is why I say they're either a massive troll, which I kind of got to give them credit for, but at the same time, really? That's when you decide to do it?
Well, I mean, the
I
White House has kind of totally encompassed the Dark Brandon meme now. So,
but here's another thing to it. You're the fucking White House. Don't delve to the degeneracy that you lambasted the prior administration for 4 fucking years.
Oh yeah, hearing all about those Trump rallies and how evil they were, and blah blah blah,
Well, not
and the imagery of it.
not just that. Not just that. Trump and his administration embraced meme culture, but I expected them to, simply because of the nature of the candidate and the presidency that ensued because of it. You're a longtime senator, a longtime politician. Why? Why not try to actually behave with the class and decorum that you've claimed to have had for so many fucking years?
Oh, all right, now you're just irritating me, Jared. I'm gonna pull it up. All right.
No, I'm actually kind of curious as to what reference is brought up.
Hold
yeah,
on.
I'm sitting here waiting.
Oh, don't worry, it's coming.
Is this
All
kind
right.
of like a second term of Trump thing? We just got to keep waiting for it.
Nope. This is the Ron DeSantis version.
Oh, okay.
Ow. Oh,
yeah. the good old Clarence Thomas stuff. By the way, we can't hear it. While you're getting the audio side of that sorted, I want to know how that. I'd like to know how the meetings went when that, just the setup was discussed. Not necessarily um, the speech itself. Okay, I understand the venue. I understand the historic significance of it and what it added to the speech. The location, I understand. But there's ways with the timing, time of day, and lighting that could have been done so much better. Because
Yeah.
and this is something that I said in a tweet to someone else about it too. When you are about to give a speech railing against your opposition and really trying to lambaste them for what they have allowed to happen and the way the behaviors that are coming as a result, don't give them fucking ammunition to discard what you're saying because of, oh, creative choice.
Let's see. Can you hear it now? Were you able to hear it?
No.
Very muddled. Like I heard like something was trying to play, but could not understand it.
Yeah, it's right now. It's in that common area. Hold on. Let me get to Okay. Did you hear the gavel?
No.
What the fuck?
I hear something.
Well, what you might be hearing now is the dogs in the background.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say we can hear things from there, Mike. Okay, Cal. I think that bit. Okay, I can understand where you're coming from, but to me, that's going a bit far, because you've often had speeches given by presidents of both parties where part of their security detail is visible in the background.
Yeah. Or been on there on the stage too.
Should they have been that visible? I agree they should not have, but I think that was a byproduct of the location and security requirements, not necessarily a, hey, we're going to have this arm of the military showing as he's giving this speech.
Yeah, exactly. I'm more than sure that was not the intended image.
Now, if it was an entire line of them behind him, then you have a point.
Yeah.
Settings. Okay, that's fine. You should hear it then.
All right,
What the fuck?
Let's try it again.
No, I think. No, not let that happen. So I'm gonna mute you guys all the way down on my end for a second. I want to hear if I can hear the audio itself.
Okay.
I love live tests.
Here it'll come to order.
There we go. Yeah, heard it.
You heard it that time?
Yep.
Okay. Let me share my screen again then. Damn it.
Excuse me.
Judge, I will begin with a few questions. I'll be asking questions off and on during the day. And what we'll do here is both Senators Leahy and Heflin may have questions. And what we'll do is we'll go for roughly 40, 45 minutes with asking questions on this side, and then yield back to our friend from Utah, um, and then maybe start to wind this down, hopefully. And as pointed out by the ranking member, other senators may have questions as
Oh,
as
this is
well.
Clarence Thomas's
Judge
interview
Thomas,
thing.
Yeah, it's confirmation.
yesterday and today, we heard about the obviously sharp and stark contrast between Professor Hill's testimony and yours. And you've indicated that you have no desire or willingness, and I've agreed that to go into other aspects than those that have been alleged in your personal life. We have a witness before us, had a witness before us, who is a tenured professor at a law school, whom you say that you viewed exactly how the committee viewed her prior to her coming forward, and I suspect many subsequent to her coming forward, as a credible person. We have two very credible people with very, very diverse positions on an issue that, if we could ever find a way.
Why do politicians have to be so slow in asking a question like this?
Because they have to try to. I call it the Darth Dawkins effect. They have to phrase it in such a way that they can then go after the person if it's not answered in such a specific way. And also, the more they talk, the more airtime they get, the more they can then go back to their financial backers and maybe the constituencies and see, I'm working, I'm trying to do this stuff, and if things aren't getting done, then they can play the whole card of, they're not letting me, but look at me trying.
Yeah, it's really, really annoying to sit here and listen to the question, but you have to get the whole question in, otherwise it's out of context and annoying.
And I know of no way that no one in the whole world that I'm aware of, at least involved in this process, finds enjoyable. And rather than ask you to go through her allegations, which you have categorically denied, and my colleagues, Senator Hatch and Heflin and Leahy, have already questioned you about, what I thought I'd try to do is try to find out where there is agreement in the testimony, not disagreement, to determine whether or not there is any place from which we can logically start to begin to make the cut on who's telling the truth. Obviously, someone's not. And again, I go back to the point that you've made time and again, and admirably, that you had not second-guessed the professor's credibility until now. It came as a shock to you, as you stated. So, if you are willing, I'd like to decide where there's agreement between the testimony given by you and given by her. You testified that Professor Hill was your quote attorney advisor at the education department. Is that correct?
That's right, Senator.
How many such attorney advisors did you have?
Senator, there was one other um, more senior professional on my staff, but she was not an attorney at the time. She was going to law school, in fact, and on whom I relied for some policy as well as some management work. She would have been the only other professional on my personal staff.
Your personal staff. So on your personal staff, there were only two people at the Department of Education.
That's right.
Professor Hill and this other person.
So not the one I thought it was.
I remember the first
Ad blockers are a wonderful thing.
Yeah, I want some creators to get. I want some creators to get revenue. So
Ah, fuck C-SPAN.
this one wasn't actually C-SPAN, but
Oh,
nah. But again, it's just if you ever get a chance to go watch the whole thing, and I have, it is quite telling of Joe Biden's personality back then. About a lot of people back then.
Yeah.
Not to mention that Clarence Thomas at least has been, for the most part, consistent in everything he's done and said.
it's amazing how that works out sometimes. What do you mean a bit late there, Davros? Did you not get the announcement that this was going to be happening randomly as I had time and felt fit? Plus, I had a little too much fun yesterday, so yeah.
All right. So shall we move on to Veteran Affairs Canada?
Oh, let's. Because the one update to all of this that I went looking for and didn't find, keep this in the back of your head, people. The employee of VAC, of Veterans Affairs Canada, that we are about to talk about, is still employed. Not only is still employed there, is still actively working and not on any sort of administrative or punitive leave pending investigation.
Oh yes, no, I totally agree with you on that, Roden. That woman's crazy.
I'm not touching that one.
That's a topic for another night. We'll
She about ready to get fucked anyway. Ooh, hello, Easy.
But so, for those who are blissfully unaware, let me ruin that for you. Recently, a former service member of the Canadian military called into their veterans hotline looking for help. More specifically, looking for mental health help because of PTSD and other issues. The recommendation that came through is more akin to the response you would get from a 12-year-old troll from 4chan. Not...
Fortnite.
I'm going to full 4chan, that realm of the internet bit, because of what it essentially translates to. Because this employee of the VAC asked the former service member, have you heard of or considered MAID? And for those who are wondering what MAID stands for as an acronym, MAID, Medical Assistance in Death. Euthanasia. Think Dr. Kevorkian, but actually endorsed by the government.
Yep.
Yeah, the employee in... in more accurate terms, told this service member looking for help, doing what they were told to do, go kill yourself. Yeah. And as Tech put it, and immediately followed it up with, don't worry about your kids, don't worry about your dependents. We have counseling programs for them. What about the fucking counseling sessions for the service member themselves?
You don't need counseling, Jared. You just need to realize that you have a mental issue because you did horrible things to another country, so therefore you deserve to die. But we'll medically help you with that.
You know, you want to know what's actually the kind of funny thing about this? I remember the conversations going on between my grandparents when when Dr. Kevorkian was in the news, because for those who may have missed it, my grandparents at the time lived in Michigan. So it was kind of a hot button topic there, since
Just a little?
Kevorkian was licensed to practice in Michigan. And when I was thinking about it, what he was doing actually made sense, and to me was a humane choice. If you are terminal and you are on hospice and there's no way you are going to get a miracle cure for your condition that would actually be beneficial to you, why not be allowed to go out on your own terms?
Yep, and I am perfectly okay with that.
But when someone comes to you for help with a mental condition, you don't fucking start with that option. You know what, Rodent? We might just do that.
Yeah, just let me know where a link is for it and I will get it up. Giggity giggity.
Giggity goo.
But while the suggestion itself is egregious in its own right, the salt in the wound, the icing on the shit cake that is being given to everyone, this employee who made this suggestion and has caused this uproar is still actively working the hotline. They have not been removed from their position. They have not been put on administrative leave. Nothing. It's almost like the Canadian government, in one way or another, wants to get rid of the veteran population. It could be for financial reasons. It could be for safety reasons. Their own safety, mind you. But I don't know, that is just purely speculation, because what other fucking reason would you have? Artemis is scrubbed until later this month, last I heard. Because shit keeps pissing hydrogen everywhere.
Well, you know, if they fix their O-rings, I might not have that problem. Or is it a valve this time?
I think it's a valve.
You know, duct tape fix valves.
But
Ugh. Alright, you know what? Let's have some fun here. And
Let's bring on the panel.
Yeah. Yeah, let's... As this last one, in addition to just playing a couple of the news articles about the VAC, I replayed that Angry Cops video, and I kind of agree with him. But granted, AC was kind of wrong with what he quoted. AC pointed to the 22 a day, which is the U.S. statistic. Granted, it doesn't change much when you factor in Canada, but it already shifts it. Actually, it shifts it down by just over 1. But that's because typically when you're a veteran of the Canadian Armed Forces and you request mental health assistance, you actually get the help you ask for. It's kind of a sad day when the American VA apparently is doing
Better job.
better than the Canadian one.
Well, what was it for me? When I had my instance, I saw a provider within 4 weeks, and that a civilian provider. They would have had, if I had gone to on base to the actual VA hospital, would have been 8 months.
Yeah, some of the turnaround times are just mind-boggling, and what actually gets a lot of people thrown off is they'll get information of appointment availability schedules from one VA center and think that's the average and aggregate nationwide. And it's not. The US VA system, your wait times for appointments can vary wildly because it is entirely based off of the local resources that are available at each VAMC, at each VA medical center. Because the ones that I have around me, there's one in, there are a couple in Massachusetts, one here in Rhode Island, and a couple of them in Connecticut. They don't like playing with each other. They don't like moving people around. If you are assigned to a particular VA medical center based off of where you currently live, they don't want you to go to another one because, let's face it, that's revenue lost for them. They don't actually get the billing and everything for that. It goes to that other medical center, which then it affects their budgets going forward. It's fucking sad. It is goddamn pathetic that decisions like this come down to the financial component only. But the VA is an offshoot of the same medical system that would rather have risked my son going blind than to pay me $50 fucking dollars because of the travel expense.
Oh, TRICARE, what a lovely place.
And yet
Yeah.
this is what Congress and Obama thought would be such a wonderful system to implement for everybody except them.
Yep. You know, that's the one thing that I've definitely seen, and this is the reason why I'm not for universal health care, is because you can look at the VA system and know that's what's coming if we go universal.
Especially in this country, because that's the model they're going off of. And that's where other countries that have a universal setup don't have as many horrendous wait times and issues, but you also have to look at the demand.
Well,
You have to look at utilization as well. It's not a simple and side-by-side comparison that you can do. There are a lot of factors that play into it, and funding is part of it.
I agree. My issue is the VA is nice, but I can't afford health insurance. So the VA is literally my only way to get medical coverage. So I am all 100% for universal health care.
Well, and the thing is, if it's actually implemented sensibly and compassionately, it can work. But the
thing
large,
is, we need to have people working in these positions that actually not only give a shit, but know what the hell they're doing.
Exactly.
and,
That's
there-
the problem is that too many times, and this is where you're going to run into the politics of it, because it's going to be the politicians that do this. It's the politicians that are going to be the ones enacting this. It's not going to be the medical professionals. They're going to be the ones that are receiving the orders from the politicians. Hey, you have to do it this way. And then, wonder where MAID comes in at.
yeah, here's something to keep in mind though too. Both of you are right. Both of you are seeing pieces to the puzzle. But here's another one that I would argue is actually at the core of it. Why is healthcare a for-profit industry?
Exactly.
Think about
Well,
that.
have you ever stopped to think about what it costs to get a doctorate? I mean, okay. All right. Number two,
healthcare
people have to actually live. Okay.
Healthcare was a for-profit industry prior to tuition rates skyrocketing.
Yep.
So
So
But
that
it
begs the
wasn't
question,
as bad.
where the hell is that money going?
Well,
Because
no-
it's not going to the tuitions, and it's not always going to go to the living expenses of the people practicing medicine. Where
Also,
is the rest of it going?
I also like to point out too that, like, you talk about, oh, how much does it cost to get an MD? It's most of the money isn't going into the payroll of the doctors. It's going into hospital administrators. It's going into, the owners of the hospital. It's going into
the supply chain and pharmaceuticals.
extreme pharmaceuticals. It's going into the extremely expensive medical insurance costs that they have in the U.S. Like actual, like,
Have you guys going to the pharmaceutical side of it? Have you guys ever looked at what R&D costs for these drugs? Have you ever seen what R&D costs?
It varies wildly. There are some that are actually quite inexpensive when you think about it, but there are some that the costs do stack simply because they're actually doing something novel, which calls for a lot of very specific circumstances and the setup and everything. But, like, let's take everyone's favorite boogaloo lately, the COVID vaccine. Already had a lot of the base framework done. So its actual R&D costs, because there was such a good amount of it, almost 50, actually a little over 50% if I remember right, of it was already shared components with other vaccines and other projects going on.
Yep.
It was not worth what the federal government paid into it to speedline it. So
Well, yeah, but I mean, a lot of that went back into R&D for other medications, and that's what you're missing.
yeah, well, there's that, as those of us who've had to deal with the business overhead, there's always the funny math that goes on in accounting. Because if they actually stuck to a strict framework of this funding is for this project and it is only going to that project, there are a lot of things that would not be at the level they are now. And because it's mainly your high profile, for lack of a better term, political talking point issues that actually get the bulk of the funding. So there's always that percentage of those funding bills, especially from the government, and funding revenue streams that go into a communal pot for everything else to pull from when they need it. And even then, that's also on a per company basis. You don't have a shared pot that all the biotech companies pull from other than the US government. The US government is the only common point for the funding for all of them in the aggregate. So, and that's also part of why there is a counter argument when you compare the efficacy of how the U.S. healthcare system is currently set up compared to other nations, but it's also a bit of a red herring by pointing out where does the bulk of the medical R&D come from, and where do the majority of medical professionals choose to get their training if it's available to them. And it's the U.S. Last I checked, which was a year and a half ago now, 98% of the new medical research papers were all published from the United States. So it kind of makes sense why a lot of that, the way our system is set up currently is, because that's where the money is. And with the money being there, that's where a lot of the progress is being made. And that's where a lot of people get pulled into it because, hey, we're doing this. We're on the cutting edge of this. We're researching this. We're making progress in all these different areas. But it's still just the ethical question, the moral question of, I understand you have to, people in the medical community as in general, doctors, nurses, everyone connected to it, you need to have a wage that is livable, that is commensurate with your skill set and what you're able to bring to the table. But at what point do you recognize that a medical administrator is not worth over $1 million a year?
Because all you're doing as a medical administrator, I take it, is you're just pushing paper around.
So the people that fall under the medical administrator tags are your bureaucratic paper work doers, which is all from your clerks and billing all the way up to the actual board of the hospital itself that is not a licensed doctor. You do not have to be a licensed doctor to be on the board running a hospital. Think about that.
That's ass backwards. Get rid of the board now and have them all be MDs, or force them into college.
Hold on. You also have to understand that the reason why is what they're wanting the business people in their community to come help the hospital. The expectation originally was that these people would be doing it free of charge because they're going to be running their own business. The problem is the medical industry has expanded so much that these people had to quit their jobs in order to run the hospital. And in order to run the hospital, they have to collect a paycheck. What it is these people that still don't need to be paid like fucking CEOs or anything like that. But it takes a lot to run a hospital. It's not something a simple group of doctors could do, because they're all going to bicker over which department's the best, which one's not, who needs more funding, when and where. That's why you need people who are not medically trained to look at the business side of it without all that attachment to the medical field itself.
Agreed.
But I take it would probably help if they had some form of medical knowledge to supplement their business knowledge.
You need a base understanding of what is taking place in your business in order to manage it effectively. But that doesn't mean that take a paper mill, for example. The president or board member of that company does not need to know how this specific machine and production line operates in order to manage the entire business itself. They just need to understand the service or product that they're doing and how to best leverage that for the health of the business. So going back to the hospitals, yes, there should be some basic understanding, but you don't need any more than that basic understanding to really do the job effectively.
I was going to say, in the ideal world, how I would envision a hospital is run. Each department will have a senior doctor that is going to run that department, and they work with the board on all decisions. Now, that doesn't mean that the medical doctors can trump the board, and it doesn't mean that the board can trump the medical doctors. If there's a conflict, then it goes to some person who is not who is a part of the board but not included in all the discussion, so to speak.
Yeah, you have to have some sort of arbitration avenue in that setup.
Yeah, so you have say a board of 13. You have 6 business people and 6 doctors for the various departments. Maybe there's one general practice doctor that kind of oversees some of the larger, or one surgeon that oversees kind of all the different surgery departments, whatever. Point being, you have that other person who gets called in when there is an issue, and it's just like, okay, lay it out in front of me. And it has to be somebody that can see both sides of the argument. Maybe it's somebody that, is a retired doctor or something that runs a business of their own, and they do this work totally volunteer wise. Hi, Claire.
But then the question becomes, but the question becomes then, if they're running their own business, how available are they going to be to the hospital, to the other administrators, to the doctors, the nurses? That's going to be the question.
That's the thing. That's when you schedule. You're going to have this meeting that's going to have this type of potential. You let them know in advance. That's not what I'm saying. Is on the emergency basis.
One
instance. Right. But
UWISH is looking at your time sensitive ones, and that's where this person who is your independent arbitrator that is not a paid employee of the hospital would have to be in that position, understanding that there are going to be times where this sort of evaluation is going to need to be done in a short time frame manner,
and they have to be willing to agree to that. It's just like being on call. That's why I suggested a previous medical doctor, because they're going to understand the urgency of the situation, versus like if I were to be on that board myself, I might be like, well I'm busy doing something else that's important. That's important to me in my business.
Yeah, well, look at like Mercy, where their board is made up of, I think, 30-40% retired doctors, and they're the ones that come in and do the primary administration on the emergency as need basis where it needs to be done short term, because they're already retired and they have the medical knowledge.
Which that's what we're saying. That is a good setup to have. That is a good practice to have in place. But not every hospital is like that.
Yeah,
very few are, as last I knew.
And also, if you have a situation where, say, you divide the board members equally between the doctors, the administrators, and then a group of retired doctors, you've actually given the balance of power back to the doctors to oversee everything. So that's why I'm suggesting that it's got to be somebody that might have actually been a doctor at one point, but is also a business person outside. Like, for example, my mother-in-law's primary care doctor that she worked for, he was a GP, but also a surgical assistant. He retired from his job as a general practice doctor, but he also runs a side business. I think it's a landscaping business with his wife, or an interior design with his wife. But he's running primary control of the bookkeeping and all that other stuff, because running a general practice is running a business.
Yep.
But somebody like him, where he can weigh the benefits of the the situation in the hospital, and also weigh the benefit of the benefits of what the administrators are trying to do, and help compromise. And maybe you do need more than one person. Maybe you need a team of them. That's fine, but you got to be careful about how many of those people on that split decision board are medical doctors versus business owners, or combination therein. And that's why I think somebody who is actually a retired doctor understands the concept of, hey, this is an emergency. We need you. He can drop what he can, for the most part, drop what he's doing, because he'll have somebody in place, and then he or she, whatever, can drop what they're doing and go take care of the emergency and come back and pick up where they left off. Or call comes in the middle of the night, they know, okay, I got to get up and go. It's not the best solution. It's not the most practical solution, but it is one that can help. And then again, your situation or your example could also work as well. It's just, again, my concern is that we can't focus entirely everything on care without balancing the administration part of the care.
And all this is kind of a side issue because proposing to shifting to having some sort of universal healthcare system isn't an argument that pharmaceutical funding's cut off. It isn't an argument that doctors don't get paid.
Oh yeah.
No, they're going to get paid, and the pharmaceuticals are still going to get their funding. But you're talking about under a ULS or under a universal healthcare. Under UHC, ULS is universal licensing. I had to renew my wife's license today, so yeah, that's a whole nother shit show there. We'll save that one for later. But anyway, the whole thing is that once you start shifting this over to a one-payer system, and that's basically what you're looking at, then there are decisions in care that are going to get made that exclude the patient's power and decision-making ability. And that's what a lot of people are scared of.
The problem with that argument, though, is that already exists without it.
Yeah, it already happens at the insurance company level instead of which is, it's essentially taking the insurance companies out of the equation by going to a federal single payer setup, which is what the Affordable Care Act through Obama was supposed to ultimately become. And there were things that were set up there that would just compound and centralize the issues that we were already facing, that we're still facing. And it is this decision-making process of who and how, and a lot of it does come down to what I brought up before, the question of how can you do a for-profit industry based off of the physical livelihood of others to the extent that it has been made into now. That's the question of how much of the apparatus that has driven the costs to be what they are, how much of that is just because of poor or lacking oversight and allowing the industry to just continually marking things up with no true justification, and how much of it is they've built in their own justifications by how pervasive these separate entities have gotten. There's a fucking mess to deal with when you actually try to get to the nuts and bolts of it, which really is my whole thing with damn near every issue. Don't just attack the symptoms. Do your damnedest to determine what is the actual root cause, where did the problems actually start, what do we need it to shift to, and how can we get from where we are now to that ideal so it doesn't happen again and just revert in 2 generations.
Well, here's part of the problem is that we're looking at a situation of we're wanting to blame the administrators. We're wanting to blame, the health insurance companies. We're wanting to pass all this blame off. And yes, while that is true, we forgot one simple key thing to be a doctor. And Jay Brown, you ought to know this answer. What is the one key thing every doctor has to have before they practice medicine?
You mean besides a degree?
Yep.
A license to practice in their state?
No, that's part of the degree as far as I'm concerned. Okay. What is the one thing they absolutely have to have? And those prices, that market has skyrocketed in the last 50
Malpractice
years.
insurance?
Bingo.
Again, you're back to the insurance and that cost. And there was a time where malpractice suits actually were were underutilized, but still a necessary thing, because there still needs to be liability and a check and balance on the medical profession when they fuck up egregiously. The problem, and that's where part of the socioeconomic side, where you start putting in the society aspect of it, is separate from business management and that side of it. We have become a very litigious society, which has made everything worse in all industries. Granted, I just commented on a video earlier tonight in a way that does kind of feed into it, but hear me out on this one.
Are you going to be getting sued for libel or slander?
No. No, this is, I need to find the video so I can bring up the actual comment. Jay, go to the channel called Fortnite and pull up his latest video.
An F and a 9 for a logo and like a face mask type of thing?
No. Well, F9 is the logo. Yeah, I guess it kind of looks like a face mask. But he has
Tesla
1 point...
autopilot crashes?
Yes. Oh, and not just Tesla autopilot crashes. I'll wait for you to bring it up, because this is something that... Oh, do you think it took me more than 30 seconds to click on this when I saw it?
Oh, no, I think it took you less than half a second.
Yeah. So, Tesla autopilot crashes into motorcycle riders. Why? Ryan from Fortnite actually goes into this. And holy fucking shit. By the way, my comment is from 2 hours ago.
Okay.
I have it on the top on my screen over here so I can read it. But the issue boils down to this. Tesla and their autopilot, well, they call it an autopilot, even though there are states in a few countries really pushing back against them for that, uses AI learning, and originally used a combination of all 8 cameras and the forward-facing radar to determine what object was where and in relation. Well, in the past couple of months, there have been 2 accidents where a Tesla on autopilot has rear-ended a motorcyclist and killed them at night. Because it was about, I think it was about 6 months ago now, Tesla made the decision to remove the forward-facing radar.
What the fuck?
Yes, so...
That makes no sense.
Ryan goes into it to explain what Tesla's thinking was, which isn't wrong, it's just off the mark. Tesla's thought was, we are humans with that is essentially an organic computer with a massive processing center and 2 cameras, and we are able to make the determination between what objects are a threat, what ones aren't, and how far away they are. Why do you need a radar to do that in a car with 8 cameras and arguably comparable processing power? So they took the radar out. because binocular vision, you should be able to judge distance. Here's the problem. The motorcycles that ended up getting hit both had a similar common feature. Low slung brake lights that are close together. So at night, the purely visual algorithm thought that what was an approaching motorcycle that the car was coming up on from behind
Was a very distant car.
exactly. So my comment that I ended up putting at after watching the entirety of the video is this. I have an idea. Major recall and removal from the road of all Tesla vehicles that do not have a radar component active. And if Tesla doesn't want to play ball, then recall and, to borrow a phrase from the aircraft industry, grounding of all deployed Tesla vehicles until a fix is implemented. What's that, Elon? This will cost you too much money and might ruin the company? Well, 2 people are dead already, and more will die as a direct result of your decision to prioritize profit over safety. I don't feel sorry for you or the board at this point.
Yep. And the fact that they just moved to Austin.
In my state, the driver still would be considered reckless driving and would probably be up for vehicular manslaughter.
Yes,
Yep.
yes, because the autopilot shuts off when it detects something. I think it's...
Actually, it doesn't even matter because the way our state law is written, when you're a driver, you're expected to be in control of the vehicle at all times.
Well, that too. But the Tesla loophole to tie into that is the fact that their autopilot actually shuts off at a specific distance away. And it's a distance that's close enough that no human could react in time.
Well, that's the thing, though, is if you're actually in control of the vehicle and paying attention,
It shouldn't be
then
an
you
issue.
should have already seen the error that autopilot was making. So that means you weren't paying attention, which means you were driving recklessly.
Yeah.
It's the people that turn the autopilot on and then do other stuff.
Oh, yeah, and there... how many times when the Tesla first came out with the autopilot were there the challenges of, driving on autopilot for X number of hours? Like, I even saw a 24-hour one at one point. It's why that, in combination with what other countries have determined in their testing of Tesla's auto drive feature, is what prompted Tesla to put in the, hey, I haven't detected your eye movement in this area in a while. Are you there? Are you awake? Put your hands on the wheel or we are stopping you in this amount of time. That whole thing was put in as a result of that. And then because they put that stuff in, well, it's no longer an auto drive. It's no longer an autopilot. You can't market it as that. And that's where the other side of the legal things with it are coming in against Tesla. Okay, so Icarus is wondering how the purely visual confused a motorcycle with a distance car. The common feature between the 2 motorcycles that were rear-ended, killing the riders, it had 2 separate brake lights, so 2 separate rear-end lights. So the...
what were the models, Jared? I can pull up pictures.
It's in there. One of them was a Harley Sportster.
Oh, yeah.
And another one is... I'm trying to find it in the video by the thumbnails.
One thing to realize is, like, when we talk about AI, at this stage of the game, we're really technically not talking about AI. We're talking about AS, artificial stupidity.
Yeah.
These things, they're doing stuff. They're doing it based on algorithms, but they're not really intelligent.
Okay.
There
Yeah.
we go. I got a timestamp on it.
Yeah. One of them was at 39 seconds. That's the Sportster.
The other one's at 137.
And a Yamaha V-Star. So, rear lights, 2 separate lights, low to the ground, but still fairly close together. So when you compare that to what a car's taillights look at a distance at night, that's what was confusing the algorithm to make it think it was a distant car versus a close motorcycle.
Yeah, that's like a Cadillac 2 miles ahead. You know.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Sounds like to me that not only should all these Teslas have active radar, but they should also have infrared range finding tech.
They used to have the radar component for distances, but one of the reasons that Tesla gave for taking it out is because of the times that the radar would get triggered by an overpass and momentarily panic brake when in that auto drive mode. So because of owner feedback, that ultimately trickled and matriculated with other things as one of the reasons why they took it out. So what was actually be a better implementation, but would decrease profit, is instead of using radar, using LiDAR. But Musk himself has said in a couple of press conferences, if you are using LiDAR, you are doomed. But this is one of those times where if I was face to face with him, I would look at him and say, "You're a fucking idiot."
So how are we doomed for using LiDAR then?
Because it's cost prohibitive by his judgment. Part of the reason why Teslas took off as electric vehicles is because they were the first electric vehicles that were practical enough and affordable.
So he wants to keep it affordable.
He wants to keep his market share. And by going with some of the tech at this point that would be demonstrably safer, it cuts into the profit margin. Now, what good businessman is going to long-term cut into their profit margin? One who recognizes the bigger picture and the long-term game and doesn't want just immediate financial growth?
Also, I don't know if you saw the video where the Tesla was misidentifying a horse and buggy as a semi.
Oh, and flipping it around and everything?
Yep.
Yeah, that was fucking funny too. So, I wouldn't say scrap the auto drive. I would say set it aside and keep working on it. But until you can get to 99 point something safety, don't implement it.
Yeah.
And maybe invest into making LiDAR modules that allow the vehicles to remain affordable while
To be
still
fair,
functioning
though-
as intended.
To be fair, though, as horrible as the auto drive is, it still beats the competence of some people I see on the road. So,
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Very
Yeah.
affordable.
But-
Yeah, I know. Fucking Tesla. Expensive as fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Okay.
Did you like that, Jared?
I'm getting back to Biden a little bit on this one.
Oh,
Speaking
boy.
of affordabilities of electric vehicles,
Oh,
and
inflation.
part of why I absolutely love American politics, let's name a bill, the Inflation Control Act. Well, what's
The
in
Reduction Act.
it? Yes, the Inflation Reduction Act. Well, what's in it? How is it going to reduce inflation? It's not.
actually. It doesn't have anything to do with inflation. Actually,
No.
It's a policy to
It-
reduce climate change.
It was a whole bunch of other shit, but the one that really sticks out and is directly related to this topic about Tesla, in that bill, there is a kickback, a tax incentive kickback of $7,500 for those people who purchase electric vehicles.
So
Hang on. The next day, what do you think all the car manufacturers who make electric vehicles did? They marked up the cost of their electric vehicles by 8,000.
of course, because why would they want the government cutting into their profit margin? Or wait a minute. No, it's more, oh, we've got extra room to capitalize on.
Yep.
There we go. There, I said it correctly. I think.
Jared, do you know what was going through Biden's mind when they came up with that and had it?
Nobody
had him sign it?
knows
Oh, wait.
what's going through Biden's mind.
No. When Biden signed that, this is what was going through his mind.
No, Jared. No, Jared. No. This is what was going through his mind.
Wait. Was there a little child around? Then maybe.
You know, all of his bill signings, there's got to be a little child around. It's a requirement. Kamala's
It's
trying to get
eventually
him.
gonna be Curb Your Enthusiasm.
We need
Just wait.
we need a Karis quote right there.
She is one well-endowed lady. I'd like to get my hands on her ample nacelles of your property engineering prowess.
Said Biden never. He doesn't like the ample ones.
He likes the nubile ones.
Yeah.
This is the way.
Do we have a citation for that?
This is the way.
Wait. A citation for Biden's predilections. His own daughter's diary.
Oh, no.
Well, suppose a diary. Have we confirmed that it's actually hers?
Yes,
Nobody-
because they did arrest 2 people for stealing it. So therefore it's been confirmed as hers.
The story is that it was found in a bed and breakfast that she left it there. That's not stealing.
No, but they have arrested 2 people for stealing it out of the bed and breakfast.
But
Okay.
how was it stolen out of the bed and breakfast?
be back.
Maybe they realized who it belonged to and went to go look for her. I mean, yeah, that is whataboutism, but that is certainly a possibility.
8 months later.
This is why I said I need a citation for this, because let's be fair here. If it is true, he's not the only politician. And right now, there's quite a few Republicans that are in a lot more hot water than Biden is over this shit.
Yeah, there's also quite a few Democrats that are in hot water because of a certain somebody that was happy and killed himself, and his female counterpart about an island. Still haven't seen that list. I wonder why.
Oh, huh. It's almost as if they're all connected.
Oh, and I'm sure there. Oh no, it gets even better. I'm quite sure there are plenty of Republicans on that list too.
There are.
There's a
one of
reason. There's a reason why that list is never going to see the time of day for another 100 years or so. It's
Yeah.
probably locked up in the Vatican archive just for that type of security.
Oh, yeah. The next pope would love to
No,
go
no,
over
no.
all that material.
No, you don't understand.
Mhm.
Anybody can put their own work into the Vatican archives. Once it's in the archives, they wait for over 100 years after your death before they'll release it. I think it's like 70 something years, but still, it's a lifetime
they'll
after your death.
Consider releasing it.
75 years after the death. Then they'll unlock it pretty much.
Well, they'll consider unlocking it depending on how damning the information is.
So it
I
might
wonder-
never be released then.
Well, I mean, if it's got Cardinal Ratzinger or Pope John
here-
Paul II going to that island, then yeah, that's never going to get released.
Well, I
Because
have a
those
feeling that
exotic people are bad.
if it gets into the Vatican archives,
Mhm.
you're sooner to experience the heat death of the universe than that list ever coming out.
Yep.
Okay,
Fair enough.
then we've got a palace to raid in Rome.
No, we don't, because it's not a palace; it's its own country.
It's still a single building. Am I wrong?
No, it's a city.
No,
it's,
it's
a
a
small.
city.
It's a small city. Yeah,
Of
But
200
it's a
people.
coun-
of mostly men too. Yes.
Mhm.
189 at least.
You forgot old men.
Yeah, well, you got to count the nuns.
It's
They're
mostly
not
old
immune.
men. It's
You
mostly
guys,
old men.
you guys know nothing of the guards of the Pope. They're all
Yeah.
Swiss Guard.
Yeah, they
there's
are
over-
the
Oh no, I
that
know.
is-
I know
the
exactly
best.
who the. I
That's
know
a full
exactly.
battalion. That is a full battalion. Granted, they're carrying halberds and spears, but still,
They have their weapons.
They would
have actual real
seriously
weapons.
mess up someone. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I'm not downplaying the Swiss Guard. Oh, fuck no. Fuck yeah, no. It's
They
just
only need
that-
the 189 too. They don't need anyone else.
Yeah, but
Until
you
they
look
kill
at
them, until they start murdering themselves. But
Yeah, but
not
when
like
is
that
that
hasn't
gonna
happened.
happen?
Oh, it's already happened.
What?
You don't know?
No?
Hold on, just a second.
What the fuck? Swiss Guard killing themselves?
yes,
Not suicide.
no
Oh, combat?
murder.
No, murder.
Oh, okay. This is interesting.
Trial
What
by
the
combat.
fuck?
No, not even trial by combat.
So
Straight
it's
up
just
murder.
oh god.
They won't come out and say that it was, but
That's
it
what
was.
It was. Yeah.
Someone insulted someone else's mother, I take it.
Oh,
no,
no.
somebody else got somebody with somebody else's wife.
Nope.
The Swiss Guard actually has their
No.
families theirs as well.
They took one of the cardinal's boys.
Ooh.
So
Oh,
No.
a kidnapping
Ouch.
attempt?
so here, I will post this in the crew chat, or not crew chat, VTW chat, so everybody public can get it as well. It is worth the 50-minute watch.
Oh boy. That's gonna be a bit of a deep dive.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
So we had Swiss Guard murdered over what sounds like a kidnapping.
No, the actual of course they don't give a blurb about it. The actual death was about a guy who knew too much about something, and so they killed him, but they didn't actually have all the they didn't do a proper investigation. Almost like when who was it? Pope John Paul I died just before we got Pope
Yeah.
John Paul II.
Yep.
Died of mysterious circumstances because
Yep.
at least when our presidents die of natural causes, we at least know that they died of natural causes.
When we know that
Getting
they
pneumonia from doing a speech for what was it, 3 hours straight in the rain and muck, and yeah.
Or, collapsing from a heart attack.
are getting shot in the back of the head.
On 2 accounts.
Wouldn't you just call that sudden lead ingestion? Sudden lead toxicity due to lead
Rapid
involuntary lead
onset
ingestion
lead poisoning.
due to involuntary ingestion.
No, that is rapid onset lead poisoning.
So anybody want to talk about Taylor Lorenz?
Oh, is she still bitching about how people are doxing her over
No,
how
no.
she doxed libs?
No. She's complaining that Liv's got another temporary ban on Twitter. And so
For, I take it, not breaking toss whatsoever.
probably. I don't know what the new one is, but
Of course.
so Libs of TikTok using their temporary Twitter ban to fundraise naturally. Reoccurring revenue from Substack subscriptions is a big way at Libs of TikTok monetizes, and then it's their website, with a blog post about that, and yeah, and then Dax here had to ask why you're such a crybaby.
I can't read that.
Wow.
Damn. Damn.
Wow.
You know,
You know,
There's-
you should have put a content warning on that before you posted that. You'll be in need of you'll be in need of ointment for that burn that's coming.
you know that Taylor Lorenz is gonna try
You
and
know-
call you out for attempted murder, right?
You know,
I'd like to see her
Jay,
try.
Jay, that is horrid. How
Wow.
bad of a journalist you have to be that you are put on a lower pedestal than Libs of TikTok, which is a shit. shit.
For all intents and purposes, Libs of TikTok is more of a meme account than anything.
Yes, that's the point of my comment.
I'm more of a journalist than KJ.
Well, okay, Taylor Lorenz is above KJ. I will give her that.
Barely.
Because, well, it's not exactly a high part of me. I mean, KJ is only slightly above Unirock. They're actually trying to vie for who can be the lowest.
Oh boy.
As a matter of fact, didn't I make a comment about them on one of Steve's tweets?
Well, isn't Unirock the lowest anyway?
Well, like I said, KJ's trying to go for it.
The only reason why you can rank KJ above Uni is because she pays Uni.
Oh wow.
Oh,
There is that.
That's how he gets all his vape juice.
A fair amount
Well,
of
hey.
it.
Okay, hold on.
Hey, after all this, because I do have to go, because I do have to call my significant other. Yeah, she's tried to call me twice today, and I've ignored it. Somewhat voluntarily because I was watching House of the Dragon. Yeah. But after we get through with this, can we touch on the BB-35?
Yeah. Oh, I am pleasantly surprised by that. Because she's been a museum ship for how long?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
It's been a museum ship for a long ass time.
Yeah,
Are we reenacting the movie Battleship?
No.
They're actually
After
doing the
it's
proper
done,
thing.
Yeah.
Well,
They're
even
gonna. Okay, so the premise is, and let me get to this: the Battleship Texas BB-35 has been a museum ship since the early 1950s. She sat at the San Jacinto State Historical Site for all those years. In the 1980s, they did send her to dry dock, and they did do a major overhaul on her, but it was incomplete. This time around, they think that they have the funding to do a proper, complete overhaul and dry dock. They don't know. I don't know exactly how long this is going to take, but currently she's off of visitation. She's been off of visitation for, I think, like 2 years now. But they finally, this past week, got her moved, got her into dry dock, and they're going through and actually going to try to restore the Texas to its 1945 condition. And while technically it would significantly make it seaworthy to an extent to be brown water, they're going to dry dock it, and they're going to move it from San Jacinto because of the environmentalist whiners. Don't get me started on those guys because they have no idea what they're talking about. But they're going to move it from San Jacinto, which, if you don't know anything about San Jacinto, it's the site where Texas won its independence from Mexico. But there's your history lesson there. But they're moving it from there, and they may move it to Baytown, closer to Houston, or they may move it over to Beaumont, which is right on the Texas-Louisiana border.
Or they might leave it in Galveston as a third option. And I'm seeing right here the initial timeline right now for the dry dock period is a minimum of 2 years.
Yep. Like I said, they're going to do extensive work on the Texas to save it. And that, to me, because I have my own significance. I was a kid when I first visited to Texas, and I want to go back. Um, the condition that she was in, in the late 70s was bad, but she's only progressively gotten worse through the years. So there's a lot of us pulling for this restoration to take hold and to find some place to permanently dry dock her. I think that that's going to be the significant salvation to the Texas, because her hull is 110 years old.
Oh yeah.
Her hull was laid down in 1912.
Yeah, or
she was
mover to
first
land.
launched-
Yeah.
Yeah, which it may not be like the Batfish in Oklahoma, but something similar to what Japan did with their famed dreadnought.
The
Yeah,
Mikasa.
yeah, the Mikasa or Mikasa, yeah.
Mikasa is it. That one actually, I've been aboard because it's right outside of the Yokosuka Naval Base.
Yeah. But that's something like that I wouldn't mind seeing. I would love to see something like that where you could permanently preserve the hull, from the inside out, basically.
Well,
that would be the perfect solution for me. Now, whether it be for the naval buffs and everybody else, yeah, maybe not.
Yeah, I think it's like as much as you'd like to see him in the water, salt water is rough.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
especially when it's brackish water and you're constantly going from a constant influx of salt water to a constant influx of fresh water, and the oxygenation helps with the oxidizing of the hull and causes all the rust. That's you've got to get her out of the water, and that's for a 100-year-old battleship, that would be the perfect thing. A 110-year-old battleship, that would be the perfect thing, because she is the last standing dreadnought, and she's also the last of the New York class. There were only 2 New Yorks built, and the Texas had the more significant role in that battleship class because it was the first ship that had a production radar. It was the first battleship to mount anti-aircraft armament. It was she and the New York both at about the same time got torpedo armament. The Texas had 8 torpedoes, 4 forward and 4 aft, or no, 2 forward, 2 amidships, and then 2 aft, or 1 aft, one forward on each side, so 2, and then 2 in the middle, and then one each aft. But she was, for her day, for as long a service as she saw, and you're talking about a ship that saw action in World War I and World War II, took part in the the Normandy invasions. She was one of the artillery batteries that the Navy used. She saw action at Okinawa. Her history is phenomenal for wartime history.
Yeah, she is one of the storied ships
Yes.
of the American fleet.
Yes. I mean, and while not as big as some of the other museum battleships that are out there, the Alabama outclasses are in every way, but eventually you're going to see this with all of the current battleship museums and all the aircraft carrier museums, for that matter. You're going to see them have to be moved from their current moorings into a more permanent dry dock situation or dry berth situation. But how successful the Texas is will set the footprint and will set the precedent for how they care for the other battleships that came down the line after Texas.
Well, and that's where my idea of what to do as a permanent display, if possible, because it would be an interesting show of scale if they were able to do this. And to do a display similar to like what is being done with the USS Albacore in New Hampshire. Granted, that's a submarine, but it's actually displayed on land in its full glory on what's effectively a dry dock.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the Batfish up in Muskogee, Oklahoma, where they moved it from the river because the river kept flooding. You know, when you're at risk of losing a World War II submarine in a major, United States waterway, and a lot of people don't realize, oh crap, Muskogee, Oklahoma actually has a port of call. That, yeah. That was one of the things that they ran into was the submarine tried to float away a couple of times.
I can't remember. There's actually a destroyer on. I can't remember which destroyer it is. There's a destroyer museum ship where it's dry docked on land, but it's also at a flood prone area. So it's actually chained in spots. So technically, it can float when it's floating.
Yeah. Yep. And they're talking about something like that with the Texas, is putting it alongside a river, maybe the Trinity or the Sabine, which I would love to see. I'd love to see it either at the Trinity River or at the Sabine River. Something that's, if you don't know anything about the Trinity River, it's about the most navigable waterway in the state of Texas. It literally is. There are places where the Trinity River only gets about 4 inches deep. You can literally walk across it. But I wouldn't mind seeing it there, but
yeah, we'll just put monster truck tires on it and just roll it on land.
Well, considering I've been in Texas for the last 6 months, and this is my home state, so I'm glad to be back. But seeing all this with the Texas, especially with my former history teacher, Jeff Pilchak, posting the updates on Facebook. Thank you, Mr. Pilchak. Appreciate it. Because he was always he always appreciated that I was kind of a Texas history buff and enjoyed it. So, but yeah, it's one of those things that's kind of near to me and dear to my heart, because I do appreciate the Texas being down there and being the flagship of the Texas Navy. Although, it's not much of a Navy when it's a bunch of John boats and bass boats.
It's not much of a Navy anymore.
The current state of the Texas Navy is John boats and bass boats, Jared. There's a few sailing yachts.
That's right now. That doesn't mean historically it was always that way.
Well, yeah, but its Navy has always sucked against greater powers.
Well, the Texas Navy's motto is
what?
Suck a dick.
If it floats, it's a ship.
Wait, I didn't know Texas was part of France.
Yes, it was. You didn't know that?
What? I don't think the Louisiana Purchase had
parts of Texas.
No.
Parts of Texas were in Louisiana.
Yeah.
Hey, it's tasty.
Holy shit!
It's my favorite nub.
Holy shit!
Holy
and
shit!
Tasty's here.
He's dirty too.
He survived the descent of Fuji.
Be nice if
And he's muted.
Yeah, he's muted.
I lost my camera on my descent of Fuji.
Oh no!
It was a casualty. Oh.
But you kept the walking stick, right?
Yeah, I got my walking stick survived. It was like $100 though.
Hold on, what was that again? What was that again? You lost?
That fucking stick was $100.
Wait. What did you lose again?
My camera. It got water damage.
Rip.
It had an inch and a half of water inside the body.
Ooh.
More than what your girlfriend gets.
Oh, wow. Dang, that was harsh.
Well, that's what we would say if he
Th-
had
if-
one.
If he was here,
So
oh, we're having so much fun at your expense right now. It's great. Except for Nikki,
all I
she's
can
playing
say
Pokemon.
is I knew y'all nerds
Yeah.
that I saw.
So what's your current
Sorry,
duty
it's
shift
so
now,
quiet.
Tasty?
What?
What's your current duty shift now? What are you doing?
Judging by the time, he's probably headed to
Can't talk
Chow.
about that.
He's wearing ear. I see he's got some ear protection, but that's about it.
No. If he's in port, then they either are finishing up or getting ready to do some either a DPA or just a short repair availability.
No, we're still in Yokohama.
Oh, port call. So he's on duty, stuck on the boat, while everyone else can go have fun.
No, everybody's here right now. Everybody's here right now, so don't even try that, Jared. I was on duty Saturday.
Okay, so you're getting ready to leave.
No, I never said that. This was a working port, not a Liberty port. What are you talking about?
Oh, you got
My ship
shafted
doesn't get
that way?
Yeah.
Rip.
Yep.
Artemis 1 did get pushed back to mid-September. Fuck.
Yeah.
But Jared, all I gotta say is fuck you. I hiked Mount Fuji before you even got the chance.
That shit happens.
SpaceX
It
should take
no,
over
it just
the-
means when you leave Japan, you're not coming back. I'm gonna end up
Good.
back there.
Good. I don't want to be stationed back here.
I didn't say stationed back there. I said you would never go back.
Oh, good. I don't want to come back.
Bullshit, you don't. You fucking weeb.
You just went to go see the Gundam gantry earlier this week. The fuck you mean you don't want to go back?
The only reason I saw the Gundam thing was because of the engineering involved in it, and I wanted to see the engineering.
Bullshit.
Yeah, that's why everyone fucking goes there. Because it's an engineering marvel.
Never seen Gundam.
Who doesn't go there for the engineering?
It's fine to be a weeb, Tasty.
Just enjoy it.
It was interesting. I also went to the Cup of Noodles Museum.
Yeah, because
Hey.
the D was surprisingly
Echoes.
large.
How's
I
my
need to
pen coming along?
follow up on something. I'll be back.
No, you bastard! He still hasn't sent me my fucking pen yet.
Emotional
damage.
I have that. I just haven't
I think
incorporated
I've
that
been
into my
waiting on-
board.
I think I've been waiting for 4 months for that pen to come in now.
Bullshit.
Wait, which pen is it?
It's a multiple ink cartridge pen
Oh.
that Tasty bought for me at like a stationery store.
Okay,
some
no.
months back.
You're talking to someone familiar with Japan. It's more than just a simple multicolor cartridge pen.
Oh, it's not even multicolor. It's all the same color. It's multi-cartridge.
But what's the catch?
I honestly don't remember. It's been that long.
Doesn't arrive till Tuesday.
Yeah, how many Tuesdays has that been already? Probably
Doesn't
like
arrive till
double
Tuesday.
digits.
February 31st.
Anyway, guys, y'all have a good night. I'm gonna go call my better half before she becomes my ex-bitter half, and trying to
Go
avoid
take
that.
care of what you need to. We'll get you
Yeah,
later.
you got it. Yeah, appreciate y'all letting me talk about the Texas, man.
Just
Yep.
compare the sizes, not necessarily the height, but the volume.
I'm talking about the rocket on screen.
Hey, Echoes.
Don't you love whenever? Yeah.
Where's my pen, you fucker?
What's up? I got mail back to me, bitch. keeps getting sent back. I don't know why. Resend me your goddamn address, dickhead.
All right, bitch. Just a minute.
Fuck you. All
Wait,
right.
Senator,
It
where
sounds
am
like
I?
a new married couple.
wait. I think I know what it is. He's sending it from
What?
the ship's mail, trying to send it to
Yeah.
your base address, which are you using the APO?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they see that it's Army, and they're
Wait.
trying to tell you to fuck off.
Yeah, I just sent you my address through Discord again. Have fun with that.
Yeah. I'll try to resend it, and if it doesn't work, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go fight LS1 for you. I'll fight my
Thank
LS1
you.
just for you.
Give me my pen, please.
It's okay. I got you, bro. So, this is.
I'm gonna want to see this
Well,
pen
I
once
sent-
you get it, Cal.
Yeah, don't worry.
I demand pictures in the Discord.
Yeah, just remind. I'll probably remember to do it
Hey,
when I
but,
actually get it.
I don't know.
Maybe not until then.
All right, we're getting startup.
Nice.
Oh, I'm dying. That'd be great.
40 seconds.
Oh wait, SpaceX.
Why am I not listening to this? I should listen to this. You guys can fuck off.
Well, as long as it doesn't go through
Wait, the
here,
ship's
because
actually live?
yes, this is a
this-
Falcon
about as
9
live as
launch
we can
about to
get.
happen. Wait,
So,
where's this
what's
one
the
taking off
Falcon
from?
Heavy? Let's.
It's because I am awesome, Icarus. That's why.
Where? Yeah, where is this?
See, this is how you're gonna get
This
your
is
pen.
probably California.
The Starlink's gonna deliver your pen to you.
Yeah, it's California.
3, 2, 1.
Ignition.
Yeah, at least
Liftoff.
we had lift.
Yeah.
And an explosion.
Oh,
right?
it is launching from Florida.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. At least it
Don't
lifted
tell me
off compared to the
that shit
Artemis.
just exploded.
Yeah, that's one thing I'll give Elon above NASA is that Elon's actually been sending shit to space.
Okay, to be fair, there were a lot of Falcon systems that failed spectacularly early on.
Yes.
Yes, but at least it didn't result in human deaths. At least I hope.
Oh no,
Oh,
they
yeah,
didn't.
Jared.
They didn't do any manned missions until recently.
Okay, then I have a little more faith in SpaceX than NASA.
Don't you, Jared? Don't you love? Oh, sorry.
No, go for it.
Don't you love when your department's doing some sketchy shit when there's an instruction? So, like, I'm DCPO now, right? There's an instruction that I'm not supposed to stand watch, but they say, fuck that, put me on the watch bill anyways. And it's not that I don't want to stand watch, right? It's just that, I don't know, it's fucking, but, like, whenever you do something that's against, like, even a benign instruction, they're just gonna rail you for it. But, like, whenever it comes to them following instructions, they just don't. God, I love the military.
Time to do
It
some
only
sketchy
gets
shit.
worse.
Doo-da, doo-da. Hope I get away with it. Do-da-doo-da-day.
What, you mean throw some shit in the CO suggestion box?
Oh, the stupid shit is going to continue. It never ends.
It gets much worse before
Yeah,
it gets
no.
any better.
And it never gets
Yeah, and
better.
then you just stand watch. It's not that I care about standing watch. It's just the fact that my department says, oh, yeah, fuck the instruction. And if you bring up something about it, they get really shy and just ignore you. It's fucking
Yeah,
great.
because you called them out on their bullshit. That they
Yeah,
weren't
and then
supposed
they
to be
never
doing in the
actually-
first place.
And they never actually take care of it in the first place. Like, they get shy about it, but then they don't do anything because, quote-unquote, manning, whenever that's complete bullshit, right? I don't know.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like they don't want to treat it like it's their problem.
Well, hang on. Every now and then they do use the excuse of manning being an issue, and there are times that it is legitimate, especially when you're forward deployed, because not a lot of people want to actually take those billets if they're not forced to on their first go-round like you were. So there can be some legitimacy to that one every now and then.
No, they say, like, no, they blame Manning in my department like every single day when we all know it's bullshit. Like, yes, we need more Manning. We're not undermanned. We're at Manning-ish. I don't know. We're about where we should. We have enough people. Is what I'm trying to say, right? I'm not saying I don't know the exact Manning numbers, but I'm saying we have enough people to run the department, right? And they use Manning as an excuse constantly to throw the blame on other people.
Yeah, welcome to the military.
Whenever, like, we all know, like, literally everybody knows it's not true. We constantly call them out for bullshit.
Which batch of Starlink nodes is this?
Like, there's people in my department that don't even fucking stand watch. And we're engineers.
This is the batch of Starlink, so you get proper Pornhub.
Wait.
No. I just find it dumb as fuck.
There is preferential treatment that does happen to the writing of the watch bill. That I don't think that's ever not been a thing.
Are you
I
talking
am
about
very happy with
preferential
my watch.
treatment, Jared? That doesn't happen.
No, not at all.
Apparently it's for
It
show
hasn't
for.
even been invented yet. What do you mean?
Kitty, what you doing?
I know not of what you speak. There is no Warren Bossing say.
Yeah.
My cabbages!
Oh, that show was.
I don't want to go down to the space to stand watch.
I own it on DVD and Blu-ray, Jared, if that tells you how awesome it is.
Yes.
I gotta go man up a watch. I'll see you guys around.
All right, later.
Have fun.
I never had a problem with the watch bill, but then I was in an extremely small department sitting in a mission critical watch. So
that bitch better get.
So
me
you
my
basically
fucking
just had your job.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I was in a very similar stance with that. We had our job, but the only thing I did was either one of two watch stations, and they were usually armed.
Well, and that's another thing with me, and this is why I kind of laughed at him for going engineering instead of aviation, because when I was aboard ship, the only watches that I ever had to worry about doing was shore patrol once I made E5. Before, when I was still in E4, the only watch that I stood was essentially a messenger watch in the department admin, which was maybe once every 2 or 3 months, and then I was the admin, another admin watch when I was E5. I either did that or shore patrol, which is essentially sit by a phone in the middle of the night for 4 hours, or go walk around the haunch. Like, I never stood a watch when I was in a foreign port on duty. All I see are blue flame. Are we about to see a big kaboom? Where's the big kaboom? Nah, so we
in
have...
foreign ports, I always stood topside sentry. That was pretty much it.
Topside sentry, petty to the deck, sail watch.
I was topside sentry.
Below decks.
And home port, most time it was below.
And we lost feed of stage 1.
Well, yes, because it's landing on the barge, and it gets to be a little too violent. So we'll know whether or not it was a successful landing in a minute. And Icarus, I don't know of which movie you speak. I know of no such movie. And for those who aren't reading the chat, but everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked, and when M. Night Shyamalan made a movie.
Usually at home port, I would get below decks, at least up until the point till I took over being deck div LPO. But
And we're back.
Yeah, but how
Okay.
much of a deck
There it is.
division do you really need on a submarine?
we had 5 E3s and below that I got to do the stuff.
Somebody get
Fuck
those waffle
that
irons
shit.
under control.
Yep, it's a successful landing.
Yep. And touchdown.
Right, like
At various points.
Ooh,
there it
3 to
is.
5.
they got better with the stabilization. It didn't cut out this time.
Nope.
Yeah.
And they got look almost like they're set. They're almost center, aren't they? Or practically center. They're
Yeah.
dead on.
Yeah, that's center.
Yeah, that's bullseye.
There really wasn't a lot of deck div stuff on a sub, but I never had to study watch.
So now stage 2 is going to go into an orbit, and well, it's
And we're-
already at that orbit, and then it's
And
probably
it'll
gonna
release. Eventually, it'll release its load.
So for me, it was a fair trade-off.
huge all over the sky.
Yeah.
Yep. Skynet? Nah, Skynut.
It's not just Starlink. There's a consumer satellite on there too.
Oh.
Pornhub. It's got its own satellite now.
That
See?
would not
Skynut.
surprise me.
They have to compete with MTV somehow.
I know an easy way to beat MTV at their game. Start
Actually-
showing music videos again.
Exactly.
Yeah, an easy way to be better than MTV. Don't be MTV.
No. Be what MTV originally was. Yeah, exactly what Roden said. Play music.
Shut up, play music. You're
or
not
do
here
what-
for politics.
Or what
Neither
was
are
the
we.
the one time they do what pop-up videos and all that stuff? That was pretty
That
good.
was
VH1.
VH1.
VH1. Oh, okay.
I actually enjoyed that.
They actually did that. Where what was it? They actually did the Thunderbirds movie, the Gary Anderson movie, and they did a pop-up video throughout the whole thing.
Wait,
You know, probably my favorite pop-up video that I watched was it wasn't Dope. It was actually the original of Spin Me Round.
Oh, okay.
And some of the things that were some of the pop-ups that were coming up was actually talking about how the band was actually interacting with each other, and just the shit ended up being funny, like unintentionally funny, is why it stuck out to me. Hang on. Spin Me Around pop up video. Let's see if we can find it. Yeah, it was Dead or Alive, You Spin Me Around. There we
Nice.
go.
Okay.
And one of the biggest parts of it that was actually that was brought up was there was friction between the drummer and everyone else in the band. Now, there's one particular bit of the music video. Let me see if I can get to it. Ah, here we go. Where they're all spinning flags. Think like the color guard from high school.
Ooh.
And so you have 3 of the 4 band members spinning the flags above their head. The drummer was critical of the other 2 for not doing it well enough. And when you actually look, the drummers is actually staying at a good even pace and staying on the same plane, whereas the other 2 are egregiously sloppy as fuck. And every time they cut to that showing it, they're like, there's the flags again. There's the flags again.
The sad thing is that most drummers and bassists should be able to stick to a beat and stick to a rhythm. Guitar players, they're just a bunch of asshats.
Yeah, they think they're better than everyone.
Hey, Kitty, what are you doing? Come here. Good girl.
Oh,
Kitty wants to play.
I was going to say, has someone come to play?
Oh, yeah, she's playing fetch right now with her toy.
Blah, 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 blah.
She's got a crinkle ball she's playing fetch with right now. Here she comes with it. Hi, Kitty. And then she drops it under my desk.
The problem with that video is they didn't have enough cowbell. We all know that.
Gotta have more cowbell.
You know, that's probably one of the few things that Will Ferrell has done that I found genuinely funny.
More cowbell.
Shall we play a game?
Granted, it's probably because it also involved walking.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, but the question is, which game do we want to play tonight?
I've got a fever, and the only prescription is more cowbell.
Yeah.
Well, we could play that new game that I got that
Uh-oh.
because it was a 6-player max, remember?
True. But then Nikki would have to stop playing with her furries.
Well, Nikki and her furries, I can understand.
Are there any tomcats in
and
it?
He has the human compatible one too. Wonderful.
Oh god, and now she's just bringing them all out. Fuck.
I'm expecting somewhere to have, the blue Smurf show up and start shooting.
Blue Smurf?
You gotta have the Ultramarines start to show up. Kill all Xenos.
The Furpocalypse.
For Apocalypse, yes. No, you don't understand. It started with Lola, but she wasn't the source.
Oh no! Avenge me, brother!
Yeah.
Alright.
No, we need Gregorian chant.
And Sean, yes, I actually have all the EVs in both games I'm currently playing.
Nikki's got her Eevee army.
Goddamn right, EVs are best.
Goddamn.
You only say that because of Vaporeon.
What Vaporeon? The most in all actuality, the most OP current EV evolution is Sylveon.
No, I was saying for the other reason that we probably can't mention.
I saw that rodent. So, who here is been made aware of Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey?
Oh, I've seen
yes!
that trailer.
Yes! I mean,
Okay,
yeah, it's just
what is this?
people in costumes.
Wait.
It's only those two.
Wait, Jay? You don't know about Blood and Honey?
No, I haven't been focusing on that.
You might actually like the trailer. You might
I'm
actually
sure
like
I will.
the trailer.
It's basically a what if Winnie the Pooh was a mass murderer.
You
I think with Piglet, if I'm not mistaken.
Wait, you mean Winnie the Pooh's not? But what about all those Uyghur Muslims?
No, we're talking blatantly.
Oh, sorry, I was thinking of the wrong Winnie the Pooh. Damn it.
Yeah, we're talking about the British one, not the Chinese one.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
we're talking about the childhood one. Except we're actually going to be ruining people's childhoods.
But the question is, how much of an accomplice is Christopher Robin?
He's all in.
Oh God.
It'd be like the Scream movie.
Or like Saw.
Saw. Oh, jeez, yes.
I think it's probably gonna be more along the line of Mike. Fuck. What was his name?
Mike Myers?
Yeah, Mike Myers. It's probably gonna be something more like that, according to what I saw of the trailer.
Well, I have the game up if you guys are ready.
Yeah, let's go for it.
What game was it again?
What the Dub?
That one.
I'm good.
Is that Jackbox or?
No, it's not. It's played whiskeytangodelta.com.
That's the one.
I'm good. You can bring someone else into it.
And let me know when you're ready for me to share the screen.
I need to come up with a name. Just give me 1 second and go for it.
Okay.
Porn.
Oh yeah, porn.
She's got huge tracts of land. Porn.
Nice,
there we go.
nice one, Tech. I approve of that name. Very much so. Which, who on the panel watched that video?
I did.
Which one?
The Tomcat video?
Ward Carroll, that I posted in the crew chat.
Oh, no, I did not.
There. Okay, if you got a couple minutes, go watch it and go to the last 2.5 minutes. He's an academy officer who actually gets it.
So
It's
about 11:30.
Yeah.
Ish. Okay. So let's switch.
Because he makes a comment specifically about the enlisted that he worked with. And even though he's an academy grad, he actually fucking gets it.
All right, let's see what he says about this real quick.
Puff, puff, boom.
Nice.
Alright, and... Oh, getting a little bit of bleed through, so bink.
Yeah, I hear it too.
There we go. I took care of that.
Uh-oh. Was Nikki going up against Team Rocket?
Nope.
No, she's playing with Red Rocket. Okay, so... Yeah, we'll wait for Cal to get on. The question is, would anyone from the audience care to join us in this game? Which, Jay, go ahead and explain it to the people.
So this is a wonderful game where you're going to see a scene of an old B movie.
Okay.
And they're going to set us up with a line to which then we got to dub over the other person with text.
Oh.
So it's kind of Quiplash, but with video.
Quiplash with an MST3K twist.
Nice.
I haven't even played it, but I already know it's worth the $5 I paid for it. With us, it's going to be worth the $5 I paid for it.
Alright, Rodent has volunteered as tribute. It's not often I get to use that line, but you know what? It works.
So who hasn't joined from the panel? Because obviously Nikki's not going to.
I'm
Cal.
here.
Cal.
Cal.
Because I sent him to go do that homework. And he'll have to unmute when he comes back. Aw, I can't.
I thought it was
unmute
the E4
someone.
Mafia. This one's a blast from the past.
Are you talking to Rita?
No, we don't do that anymore. Unintentionally.
I was going to say, Tasty was here.
I said unintentionally.
They have a fucking toilet seat as their insignia.
They're not around.
Shit.
Really, the retards aren't around much anymore. They've mostly moved to TikTok. So.
Yeah, and what's that platform that Trump started as a counter to Twitter?
Truth.
Truth Social.
And
Oh,
it's doing,
by
it's doing it's doing horribly. It's
Oh,
even
that's-
got. I think did it get removed or one of them got removed from Google?
Parlor.
Yeah, Google, I think, removed it. Or is
Well, no,
going to one of the two.
no. Google's never had it set up.
Oh,
Apple's the only one that carries it.
I thought Trump's site was truth.
Yeah, Google rejected him. Yeah.
Cal, are you in?
Yes, I am.
I have a feeling he's boobies. And by the way, Cal, what did you think of that sentiment?
With the people that he served?
That he served with, yeah, especially the maintainers?
Fuck, I was like only half paying attention.
Well, so notoriously academy grads, especially the fucking fighter jocks, were assholes to the enlisted side of the house.
Mm-hmm.
But in the video, he actually commended them on their knowledge, their technical expertise, and how crucial of a role they play in naval aviation. Which is why I said, even though he's an academy grad, he gets it.
I bet you somebody in his how old he was in the 80s and 90s time frame.
Late 80s through the 90s, maybe early 2000s or 90s into early 2000s.
So it is possible that he had some family member like a grandpa or a great uncle that served in World War II as an enlisted aviator. That was basically the equivalent of a Rio, who made him appreciate the enlisted mechanics and workers on the jets.
Well,
So,
there's another possibility that he actually.
We're currently seeing if she can marry him and help him.
Oh, getting a little bit of bleed, rodent.
Because if so, then we're gonna have.
There's also the possibility that he actually learned and paid attention to the Chiefs mess when he was a JO. Because he was in that generation where that still was a thing that actually was effective.
It also could be something that he just learned through time because he did have a fairly extensive
career
with various air wings. So.
all right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start.
Yep. All right. Beep.
Oh, and I think there is a audience portion of this too. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Oh,
if you had met him when he was an ensign, you might not have had the same opinion. Who knows?
Well, no, but that's where I would expect it to take time, which is where I said, you know, I'm glad he gets it.
It's just that easy.
Because a number of them don't.
Here we go.
All right, round
one.
Elsa, why do you torment me so?
Oh no, we have to fill in the audio.
What are you waiting for? Enter your dub.
Oh, nice. They have auto. It has autocorrect.
Has autocorrect? I didn't know.
If you spell something wrong, it lets you know.
You're almost out of time.
It would also be your browser doing it.
Come on,
Yeah,
good boy.
Possibly. Depends. I guess it depends on medium which you're using. Oh no.
Oh, come on!
Here we go.
Why do you torment me so?
Show me your tits.
God damn.
Elsa, why do you torment me so?
Your dick is 0.03 nanometers long.
I see that there was a theme that some of us were going with.
Why do you torment me so?
You voted for Taylor Green.
Oh, this is going to be tough.
Why do you torment me so?
You're maidenless.
Oh, this is good. Okay, okay.
Why do you torment me so?
Because you have a small dick syndrome.
Definitely a theme.
You think was the
Oh,
best?
so it didn't get mine, probably because it was too long.
Yeah.
Even though I was talking about a second Chinese daughter's dick, making hit.
Place your votes, everybody. And audience, you can join as well.
You know what? I'm voting for that one.
Results are in.
You're on a roll. Hot points.
Oh wow.
Well.
Look who's
No.
stinking up the joint.
Because it didn't let it enter.
Damn.
It changed as I hit enter to submit it. Fucker.
So many dubs,
Oh, wow.
so little time. Let's get into it.
Can I talk to you a minute? Why, sure, Nick. What's on your mind?
Oh no.
Oh,
Do you really mean this? Yes, sir.
Time to shake the world, kid.
Oh no. Oh no.
15 seconds.
Come on. Oh,
There we
there's
go.
the goober.
11.
You have 10 seconds to
Can I
comply.
talk to you a minute? Why, sure, Nick. What's on your mind?
I followed you into the bathroom at that rest stop, and now it burns when I pee.
Do you really mean this? Yes, sir. Can I talk to you a minute? Why, sure, Nick. What's on your mind?
Do you suck?
Oh, it censored
Do
it!
you really mean this? Yes, sir. Can I talk to you a minute? Why, sure, Nick. What's on your mind?
One of my testicles fell off and the other one has turned green.
Do you really mean this? Yes, sir. Can I talk to you a minute? Why, sure, Nick. What's on your mind?
Have you considered joining Scientology?
That one's
Do
good.
you really mean this? Yes, sir. Can I talk to you a minute? Why, sure, Nick. What's on your mind?
I want to stick my doohickey in your Glavin holder.
Do you really mean this? Yes, sir. Can I talk to you a minute? Why, sure, Nick. What's on your mind?
Nick needs you to take the dick.
Do you really mean this? Yes, sir.
Round's over. Let's vote.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Again, audience,
This is funny.
playwtd.com, and the room code is Z. Victor Uniform Echo.
I think that one's gonna fucking win.
Here we go.
2 thumbs down.
Ooh.
Oh.
This top dog is hip to the jive. Look at him go.
Nice.
Nice.
Break a leg, kid. Here comes the next round.
Oh, here we go.
What is it, Jerry?
Betty.
Oh no.
Enter your dub.
Oh.
If this is going to be the text to speech that I think it is. If this is going to be the text to speech I think it is.
Oh
What is
no.
it, Jerry?
Betty.
Betty, let me smash.
What is it, Jerry?
Fuck.
Betty.
I impregnated your cat, dog, mom, sister, aunt, grandma. The whole town.
What is Derek?
Eddie.
I'm sorry about your grandmother, but I just had to. Her badge was calling me from the grave.
Eddie.
I slept with your sister and she called out your name instead.
That one was good.
Eddie.
Have you ever been to a Turkish prison?
Eddie.
I invested all our savings into Enron.
Oh.
No.
You know what? I'm voting for that one.
Well, I thought I knew which one I was going to vote for, but
Oh no!
It was a difficult choice, but
Adam, no cattle. Get it together.
Damn.
You take the egg, baby. Winner, winner.
Wow.
Shit. Went from triple to quad.
Oh no.
You're the only one I can turn to. I need your help very badly. Well, what is it?
Oh. Uh-oh.
Time to let your ambitions soar. Enter your dub.
Wow. Holy shit, I put mine in quick.
Enter your dub.
Well, the nice thing is you can read the script.
5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
2,
1.
1.
Oops.
And you failed.
You're the only one I can turn to. I need your help very badly. Well, what is it?
How do I come out as a furry to your mom?
okay.
You're the only one I can turn to.
Reaction.
I need your help very badly. Well, what is it?
It's these hemorrhoids. I can't sit anymore. Can you help push them back in with your dick?
You're the only one I can turn to. I need your help very badly. Well, what is it?
I've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty.
You're the only one I can turn to. I need your help very badly. Well, what
Okay, I
is
think
it?
I know what I'm voting for.
J. Edgar has pictures of you last night with E.T. and Spock. It is not a good look.
You're the only one I can turn to. I need your help very badly. Well, what is it?
I am Luke's father, D.B. Cooper, and I shot the Sharife.
You're the only one I can turn to. I need your help very badly. Well, what is it?
I need some of that fine dick. Give it to me. Oh yes, give it to me now.
Vote for your favorite dub.
Oh, okay.
That's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I didn't have enough time to add it, but I didn't shoot the deputy at the end of it.
Oh.
Oh,
Check out this last place loser. Total square.
Well, rather.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
That was a good one. Well played.
wow. And look, right to first place.
Grab your martini glass. Next up is the final round.
Oh, no.
The message reached us too late.
No time to waste. Enter your dub now.
Yeah.
We're almost out of time.
Come on. 3, 2, 1.
And
Uh,
The message reached us too late.
You have to hold these documents for Trump.
Nice, nice.
We've already wasted all the fuckers before we knew they were supposed to have plot armor.
The message reached us too late.
The used 12Y oh boy has already been delivered to the Pope. I think the nail is being driven into his skull as we speak.
The message reached us too late.
My grandmother used the vibrator I sabotaged to take out my wife. She went quick.
The message reached us too late.
We were to shoot your brother instead.
The message reached us too late.
The Queen's dress exposed her dick with a Prince Albert to honor her grandfather.
Everyone's pretty.
Nice. Okay. Yep. Yep. All right.
Oh, this is wow. Those are some good choices.
Come on, Sean.
No, it's the audience.
Audience,
Oh,
right
Sean.
on.
Yeah,
Audience member.
Sean Carroll.
I heard Tron.
Yeah.
Let's take
I
Tron.
guess that means Stacy's mom does not have it going on. Well, not anymore. She doesn't.
Pardon my French. You suck.
Ooh.
Wow.
One word.
I thought that one would have got more. Damn it.
Wow.
And the winner is.
Let's go!
Dog, kid. Way to go.
I am particularly proud of that one.
Classic ignoramus.
Of course, they're all fucking stupid.
Ready for another one?
Yeah, we'll do another round. That was
By
fun.
the way, this was totally worth $5.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they never.
Annoying Brit. I will
Failed
take
musician.
that. I will take that title.
Why ruin a good thing? Let's keep it rolling.
Here we go.
Damn, over 1,000 points ahead of second place.
For us here to believe what we're reporting to you, but it does seem to be a fact.
Oh no.
Give it your best shot and enter your dub.
By the way, if you run out of time, I think it will just post whatever you've gotten typed in.
Yeah, it did that for me. So
It did not do that for me on the first one.
Well, that's because you suck.
well, either that or I got the submit in enough time. I don't know. I was
Hard
flicking
for us here to believe what we're reporting to you, but it does seem to be a fact.
Can anyone name
Lauren
this movie?
Boebert was able to tie her shoes without strangling herself in the process.
Nice.
Believe what we're reporting to you, but it does seem to be a fact.
Hunter's laptop contains multiple terabytes of Charlie Papa and over 500 contacts of crack dealers.
It's hard
That's
for
not
us here to
unbelievable.
Believe what we're reporting to you, but it does seem to be a fact.
Generalissimo Francisco Franco is still dead. Film at 11.
It's hard for us here.
I like that one.
Skeletor, I mean, Nancy Pelosi is finally being removed from office. We have found in her wake a large crate marked industrial sex toys.
It's hard for us here to believe what we're reporting to you, but it does seem to be a fact.
MTV is playing music videos again, but on Pornhub.
But it does seem to be a fact.
We have found Unirock's morals and ethics.
Which dub did you
Oh. Oh.
No.
You know what though? Let's go with the.
Hard
There's some good choices.
Yeah.
Come on, Sean.
By the way, that clip is from the original
The
Night of the Living
Godzilla's
Dead.
attacking?
Yeah, I figured you would recognize where some of
I
these
was running
clips
out.
came from, Rodent.
Yeah, I know, 'cause I'm fucking old.
You're as fit as a butcher's dog, kid. Way to go. Better luck next time, ankle biter.
Rip.
Ooh.
Really? Come on.
It was good. It was good, but not that good.
Don't worry, I'll make a comeback later.
Uh-oh.
Watch.
Find anything, Steve?
Oh,
perfect.
Oh, the last answer from the first one would have been perfect.
– 15 seconds. 10,
Running out.
9, 8, 7, 6.
Find anything, Steve?
I thought I found KJ's evidence, but it faded away.
Nice.
Find anything, Steve?
I think it's. Wait a minute, who the hell let Donald Trump in here? My hand is covered in orange spray tan and hairspray now.
Find anything, Steve?
A USB drive with Hillary's emails.
Oh, I'm dead.
Find anything, Steve?
I found Katie Joy's reporting credentials.
Find anything, Steve?
One dead hooker down, 36 to go.
Find anything, Steve?
It's the script to Porky's.
Okay. Wait.
Don't. The choice is yours.
Wait.
Ooh,
Porky's had a script?
Damn.
This one.
You know, I hate how the second thought is better.
We're almost out of time.
because after I submitted mine, I was like, I found a case of shut the fuck up, Clara.
Someone's got
Yeah,
Yeah.
I both tried to make a comeback.
Yeah.
You're spewing pure rhubarb. What a loser.
Okay, when I go political, it
Another
doesn't
round
land.
of
When I go
what the dog
sexual,
is
it...
coming at you.
Fuck.
Oh, something the matter?
What are you waiting for? Enter your dub.
Mine is an evil laugh.
So,
Come on, good boy. There we go.
Dun, dun, dun.
These brownies were diggity diggity dank.
Nice.
I know what really happened inside the Clinton Foundation. Now they know. We just got the anthrax. I just won the Venezuelan lottery. I know owe them $2.
Oh, I like that one. Okay.
Yes and no, yes, no. Yes. They just found the altar boy I was with last week.
Okay.
Yes, why are you not back in Westworld killing everyone?
Time to place your vote.
Oh, I like those two, but I'm gonna go with that one.
Ouch. Your jokes need a page one rewrite, buddy.
And I don't even smoke pot.
Hey, I got points.
And clinches the round.
Hey, that puts you above me, barely.
Well, remember, Jared, it's
I
not whether
didn't
you win or
fucking
lose.
move.
Abby Singer is next. Let's take it home.
When we came here a few hours ago, the only thing we had in common was the $10,000 we'd get. Now, however, we share something else.
Pretty face. Andrew, your job.
Oh no.
I apologize in advance for this.
Let's see if it can pronounce that word.
It did pretty good on Diggity Diggity Dank.
When we came here a few hours ago, the only thing we had in common was the $10,000 we'd get. Now, however, we share something else.
Chili de Castro's herpes.
When we came here a few hours ago, the only thing we had in common was the $10,000 we'd get. Now, however, we share something else.
The best orgy since Caligula.
I'm sensing a theme.
When we came here, the only thing we had in common was the $10,000 we'd get. Now, however, we share something else.
We now all know more than Trump's legal team.
Nice.
That's what that had in common was the $10,000 we'd get. Now, however, we share something else.
STDs.
When we came here a few hours ago, the only thing we had in common was the $10,000 we'd get. Now, however, we share something else.
If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with mesothelioma, you may be entitled to financial compensation.
Oh, that's a good one.
$10,000 we'd get. Now, however, we share something else.
A rather virulent case of gonocipherpalades.
Everyone's a critic, including you. Time to vote.
Oh. There's some good ones.
There was a theme in this one.
My vote's just gonna go straight to the point.
The gonosyphil herpalates.
So whatever.
Already.
The everything.
Say that 3 times fast.
I'm about 3 beers in.
Someone is cruising for a bruising in last place.
God.
Wow.
Singled out twice in a row.
Wow.
Yowza.
That's 2 cups.
Damn.
That's 3
Nostalgia.
cups tonight.
It's a bitch.
Holy shit.
Damn.
Grab your martini glass. Next up is the final round.
Rosemary didn't invite me to her party.
Oh. I'm going to hell.
Pardon the Disney reference.
Yeah.
Oh no.
We're waiting on
I'm going to hell for this one.
I might be as well.
Rosemary didn't invite me to her party.
Do you still have that Nixon mask?
Rosemary didn't invite me to her party.
Well, hun, it's because you're a fucking pussy bitch.
Mother, why do you suppose Mary didn't invite me to her party?
Shut Elsa the fuck up and let it go.
Mother, why do you suppose Mary didn't invite me to her party?
It's because you've been sleeping around with the whole Christian school.
Mother, why do you suppose Mary didn't invite me to her party?
Because you are still a virgin.
Mother, why do you suppose Mary didn't invite
I
me
see.
to
We're
her
all
party?
going to hell.
I'm jealous of that fat wet ass pussy you got, girl.
Well, that escalated quick.
Damn! Well, there's a theme if we've ever had one. Now, which way do we go with some of these answers? Do we go the innocent
Do you want to
one,
go to hell
do we
or do you want to go to
all
hell
the
faster?
way?
Express pass.
VIP tickets.
I kind of like the speed lane. There are less assholes in the way.
I'll take it.
Famous.
Damn.
We're all in the HOV. We're all in the HOV lane.
That's what I was gonna say. We go carpool. HOV.
You are just too much.
I still get top vote.
Oh, wow.
It's because I couldn't vote for my own.
Yeah, that's the problem we all have, Jared. What's new? Oh, well, I win again.
Winner.
This game is rigged. This game is rigged. Recount
A
the
fool
vote.
and a foolish wit. Huh?
Clearly, if you got boobies, are you ever really the loser?
Only after A cup, right?
Well, I call this one a success. Let's keep it up for the
Hey, I
winner.
was third instead of fourth this
Not the
time.
group leader.
Yeah, the Vegas cop.
I'm a featured zombie.
One more, or are we done?
Vegas cop.
I think that's good for tonight. We have been going for just shy of 3 hours, and I would actually kind of like to enjoy the bulk of tomorrow.
Yep. Oh,
Oh,
we
man.
definitely do this game more often.
Yeah. This one's actually going to take a bit of work. Which, I'm
Actually runs
surprised.
quicker than Quiplash. So
That's
yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Well,
Pretty
and
quick.
I think part of that is because each round is only one prompt, and we all get the one prompt.
Yep.
And also, sometimes the jokes are just super obvious.
If you are
they
a lump of
practically write themselves.
if you are a lump of
literally-
diagnosed with mesothelioma, you may be entitled to financial compensation.
I was
That's the hard
literally
part is to
sitting here-
like how to be funny and not go for the obvious joke.
I was definitely waiting for that car's extended warranty one.
Yeah, that was Garen fucking Teen.
That would have worked in that last prompt too. It's like why won't they let me? What was it? Why don't they let me come over to the party? Because you didn't accept their car extended warranty.
Heck, we were just missing someone schlepping a reverse mortgage.
Oh. It's because she didn't make herself free of real estate.
Oh. All right. Well, all you guys have fun. We're going to do other stuff because we can. Some of us don't have to work tomorrow.
Oh, go fuck yourselves.
Yay!
And
I don't have to work tomorrow. I'm unemployed.
Wait. Is it unemployed or unintentional retirement?
No, unemployed. I'm actually searching.
Ah, okay. But
That's good.
Oh, you just reminded me of something that made me laugh.
Uh-oh.
Not only did I laugh at that other line earlier that I quoted from Biden's speech, there was another bit of a line that he had that made me laugh, and it's rather relevant for what was just said.
Uh-oh.
Biden, in his speech, said, as part of his "look at what we've done" section
Ring
of
my
the
bell
speech,
to be a special subscriber.
And after you do that, think about this one. He said, we have more people working today than ever in our history, alluding that the unemployment rate is the lowest it has ever been in the history of the unemployment rate.
Which is probably factually incorrect on all accounts. Take this with a big grain of salt, people.
Yeah, think about this. They made a big thing about the employment numbers finally equaling pre-COVID numbers. Just, what, a month ago?
Huh. It only took them 2 years and change to finally get back to pre-COVID point.
To be fair, a large chunk of that was also under Trump.
Well, having the job losses during COVID because of how it shut things down was to be expected. But think about this, Nikki. You said
No. The reason why I say that is, granted, I don't like either of those presidents either. The point is I'm getting tired of, oh, hey, well, it's this one person's fault or it's this one. No, it was both their fucking faults. Just it has so happened that the pandemic lessened when the current president is in there, hence the reason why we have more jobs.
And put this into the whole thing too. When employment numbers went up early in Trump's term as president, the president doesn't have any effect on unemployment numbers. But now that Biden's in office, holy shit, he's the greatest president ever when it comes to the economy and job growth. Look, we're finally back where we were 4 years ago.
It's almost as if they want to put Biden on a pedestal as if he's been the only president ever.
And it goes back the other way too. Both parties are fucking guilty of this kind of bias and bullshittery, and I am fucking tired of it.
Yeah, it's also frequently that they'll take, especially like we really think about it, like anything the president, like you get a new president in, anything that they're doing in their first year of office isn't going to even be really seen to the second year. First year, it's all running on what the previous administration had been doing. And frequently, of course, it's like, oh, such and such gets in January, and something happens in March, and they're going, oh, look what this new president's. It's nothing the new president's doing. It's the old president. It's just still old president. Whether it's good or bad, it just doesn't matter. It's still the old president.
Yeah, there's a delayed effect that a lot of people just outright fucking ignore.
We have a president, not a fucking dictator.
Well, some people apparently want to change that from both sides.
Mm-hmm. More so on the other side, though.
Yeah, there's extremists on both ends. I mean, it's just different raging points. One rages about the process of the election. The other one rages about, oh, you need to cater to my feelings, and I don't like these sections of the Constitution, so they shouldn't fucking apply.
I would argue that the one that's bitching about the Constitution is the one that needs to go first.
How about both?
The ones that currently scare me the most are the Christian nationalists, because they've gotten a little bit more empowered recently.
They're also becoming extremely fascist too.
Well, they were always fascist. They become more
but they're publicly.
They're just saying the quiet part out loud. More
it
often
is.
now.
They're just more they're just more out there now than they were being, But
this somehow suddenly absolves the left strand of
no. I'm just saying they're the ones that scare me the most. That's all I'm saying.
Cal. What we're doing is we're pointing out that there is a war of escalation here between the two parties, and this is just the Republicans' turn to crank it up a notch. Don't worry, soon the Democrats are going to find a way to crank it up a notch in their own way. It's just
Probably
the way that's been the last 20 years.
Just give
All
them
I
time.
know is one group wants to have a Spanish Inquisition on children's genitals.
Yes, That
And the other one wants to have a Spanish Inquisition on white people.
No, those are the same two. Those are the same two groups.
Yeah, that
is-
we'll get into that ball of wax next time, which at this rate might actually be in a couple weeks. Stick around and find out.